The Guardian paper did some research on members of the royal family, on the British royal family. For one, it did some research on how the UK British royal family hides its wealth from public scrutiny. And the second research it did, it found out that royals took more than £1 billion in income from controversial estates. And my family, in light of this investigation by the Guardian, well, guess what? The royal family does what we all know they'll always do: deflect, by ensuring that Harry and Meghan's faces end up on the front pages of the Daily Mail. Whenever any paper does an investigation into how much the royal family costs, to the cost of maintaining the royal family, the next day you'll have in the front page a picture of Harry and Meghan, with the tabloid media trying to create folks' outrage. And guess what? In the Daily Mail, my family, in the front pages, they had a photo of Harry and Meghan. And here's what they say on their front pages: royal exclusive. Sussexes still won't say if they'll be at coronation. That is what they put on their front pages. Sussexes still won't say if they'll be at coronation. And they called it a royal exclusive, my family. That's what, they called it, my family. But my family, today I won't focus on that much. I just wanted to let you know that the royal family, whenever someone does an investigation on them, on their money, the next day you'll always find a photo of Harry and Meghan on the front pages. Despite Harry and Meghan leaving, still the royal family are using them as scapegoats, my family. And today I wanted to focus on this research by The Guardian, in which they have revealed that royals took more than £1 billion income from controversial estates. And yet, if I can remind you, my family, in Harry's memoir, Pa, meaning Charles, told Harry that there was no money for Meghan. My family, please just hear this excerpt from Harry's memoir, Spare, before I read you this research kindly. And I quote: Pa, driving us out into the fields, asked about Meg, not with great interest, just casually. Still, he didn't always ask, so I was pleased. She's good, thanks. Does she want to carry on working? Charles asked Harry. Say again? Does she want to keep on acting? Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't think so. I expect she'll want to be with me, doing the job, which would rule out Suits, since they film in Toronto. I see. Well, darling boy, there is not enough money to go around. My family, these people were so cruel to Meghan Markle. And they wanted to be cruel. My family, they wanted to be cruel. My family, let me continue, please. I stared. What was he banging on about? He explained, or tried to. I can't pay for anyone else. I'm already having to pay for your brother and Catherine. I flinched. Something about his use of the name Catherine. I remembered the time he and Camilla wanted Kate to change the spelling of her name because there were already 2 royal ciphers with a C and a crown above. Charles and Camilla. It would be too confusing to have another. Make it Catherine with a K, they suggested. I wondered now what came of that suggestion. I turned to Willie, gave him a look that said, "You listening to this?" His face was blank. Pa did not financially support Willie and me and our families out of any largesse. That was his job. That was the whole deal. We agreed to serve the monarch, go wherever we were sent, do whatever we were told, surrender our autonomy, keep our hands and feet inside the gilded cage at all times, and in exchange, the keepers of the cage agreed to feed and clothe us. Was Pa, with all his millions from the hugely lucrative Duchy of Cornwall, trying to say that our captivity was starting to cost him a bit too much? Besides which, how much could it possibly cost to house and feed Meg? I wanted to say, she doesn't eat much, you know, and I'll ask her to make her own clothes, if you like. My family, Harry told Charles, Meghan doesn't eat much, because Charles was not willing to fund Meghan Markle. My family, Charles was not willing. Don't forget, Meghan gave up a lucrative career, making $40,000 an episode from Suits. Or is it $50,000 an episode? My family, from the TIG, she also earned a good living, as Meghan said in the Harry and Meghan documentary, that it turned into a business. My family, the TIG, where Meghan would share, the places she visited, the country she went to, and just her lifestyle, how she lived. And my family, despite Meghan giving up all of that here, back in the UK, you have Charles telling Harry there is not enough money for Meg. My family. And why is that? Harry answers that question in his memoir. And my family, just hear what Harry said about this. My family, and I quote, "It was suddenly clear to me that this was not about money, because Charles has a lot of it. Pa might have dreaded the rising cost of maintaining us, but what he really could not stomach was someone new dominating the monarchy, grabbing the limelight. Someone shiny and new coming in and overshadowing him and Camilla. He lived through that before and had no interest in living through it again." My family, what do we learn from what Harry says? The hatred that Charles or William has towards Meghan. My family, what they have towards Meghan, the hatred, is all down to jealousy. Jealousy. Jealousy, my family, that is what it's all down to. Because Meghan was grabbing the headlines. Because Meghan was taking the limelight they believed should only be a preserve of the senior members of the royal family. That is what it's all about. William, while storming in to Nottingham Cottage, where Harry stayed with Meghan when Meghan was not there, to call Meghan all manner of disgusting, demeaning, names, insulting Meghan Markle, calling her difficult, rude, abrasive, all those racist tropes used against women of color. William did that because of jealousy. Jealousy of the star power possessed by Harry and Meghan. Jealousy about the interest the public had on Meghan and Harry and not on he and Kate Middleton. And because of that, he wanted Meghan gone. He believed that somehow, some way, if he could split apart Harry from Meghan, well, guess what? It can go back to Harry following them behind, miserable and happy. William can have that control he has always claimed he's had over Harry, that psychological control. My family, that is what it was about. Jealousy and control. My family. Not because Meghan did anything wrong. Not because Meghan did anything wrong, because she never ever did anything wrong. Her crime was somehow being more famous than the other senior members of the royal family. And Meghan wanted to solve this. Meghan wanted to solve this. How? By leaving. By leaving, my family. You know? Because Meghan Markle told the royal family that when she and Harry leave, the Park of the Rota is not based in Canada, because they're only based in London. And if they leave, my family, it would give the royal family more space on the front pages of British tabloids. Well, guess what? Still, Meghan was wrong. Because right now, Meghan and Harry have fled the UK. But still, on the Daily Mail, they are on the front pages today. Meghan and Harry are on the front pages of Daily Mail. Daily Mail tabloid that Harry is suing for basically criminal offenses, unlawful gathering of information. And they found the time to put Harry and Meghan on the front pages to ask a question, my family, to say and claim that, hey, look, that Prince Harry and Meghan have not decided whether they're coming or not. They haven't said whether they're coming to Charles' coronation or not. That's that. And they call it a royal exclusive. And Meghan left. Meghan left. She fled the UK years ago to give space for the other members of the royal family to have their front pages exactly as they would like. But still, despite her leaving, despite her fleeing the UK, still, clearly, Meghan and Harry still end up on the front pages. And so the jealousy from the other senior members of the royal family and hate towards Harry and Meghan continues because of jealousy. Because of jealousy. My family. And my family, allow me to go right ahead and read you this investigation by the Guardian paper, my family. And here is what they said. First of all, the royals took more than £1 billion in income from controversial estates. Don't forget, Charles told Harry, there is no money for Meg. And my family, an investigation reveals that King Charles and the late Queen's income from the duchies grew 16-fold during Elizabeth's reign. 16-fold. And King Charles and the late Queen Elizabeth II have received payments equivalent to more than £1 billion from 2 land and property estates that are at the center of a centuries-old debate over whether their profits should be given to the public instead. My family, in light of what I am saying to you, based on the investigation by the Guardian paper, my family, don't forget one thing that members of the royal family, Charles in particular, told Meghan there is no money for her. My family, never ever forget that. My family. And an investigation by the Guardian has established the full scale of income extracted by the royals from the duchies of Lancaster and Cornwall, which ran giant portfolios of land and property across England. The duchies operate as a professionally run real estate empires that manage swaths of farmland, hotels, medieval castles, offices, shops, and some of London's prime luxury real estate. They also have substantial investment portfolios but pay no corporation tax or capital gains tax. My family, the public in the UK should be upset about this, should be very, very upset about this. Now, Duchy accounts held in parliamentary and state archives reveal how the Queen and her firstborn son, in his capacity as the Duke of Cornwall, benefited from a huge increase in their revenues from the duchies during a 7-decade reign. Wow. These members of the royal family are so rich. So rich. My family. Last year, the duchy income totaled £41.8 million. Adjusting for inflation, the pair have received the equivalent of more than £1.2 billion in total revenues from the two estates. And profits from the Duchy of Lancaster, which consists of 18,481 hectares of rural land, primarily in the north of England and the Midlands, automatically pass to whoever is sitting on the throne. The estate itself is valued at £652 million, my family. And the Duchy of Cornwall, which William has inherited, my family, which encompasses 52,450 hectares, mostly in the southwest of England, is worth more than £1 billion. And William wants to tell us he cares about tackling homelessness. If he truly cares about tackling homelessness, then let William be the person who pays to build houses for people who are homeless. Only then can we see him as being genuine. My family, we all know all this income goes to Prince William to benefit for himself and also his kids and also his alleged mistress. My family, that's what we can say. My family. And this estate, the Duchy of Cornwall, has not kept pace with legislation passed in 2013 to bring gender equality into royal succession. Its profits still only go automatically to the male heir to the throne. My family. When Charles became king last year, the Duchy of Cornwall automatically passed to his son, Prince William, transforming him on paper into a billionaire and one of the largest landowners in England. He can expect an annual payment of at least £20 million. Wow. They are very, very, very rich. Very, very, very rich. Very, very rich, my family. And guess what? The fact is, if Prince Harry had stayed in the UK, well, guess what would have happened? Harry would be on the mercy of Prince William. Both Harry and Meghan and their kids Archie, Lilibet, Diana would be at the mercy of Prince William. I want to repeat that again. If Harry had stayed in the UK, he, Meghan, Archie, Lilibet would be at the mercy of Prince William. It would be William who funds them. William who physically assaulted Prince Harry and abused Meghan Markle, calling her all manner of demeaning names while Meghan was not even present. William who put his finger on Meghan's face, that person, Meghan and Harry, would be at their mercy. But not just Meghan and Harry, also their kids. My family. Yet the abusers, like Tina Brown, for instance, the carnival or so-called experts, say that Harry should rip out, destroy his contract with Netflix and Spotify and come back because William, the man, the guy who physically assaulted him, his own brother, is ready to support him. And Charles, my family. Charles, who told Harry to tell Meghan, my family, that there was no money for Meghan Markle. That Meghan should stick to acting. That's what they said. But somehow, you're the carnival of so-called experts saying that, Harry, just rip out, destroy your contract with Netflix and Spotify that enable Harry to put a roof over the head for Archie, for Lilibet, to pay for their security, to come back to begging William and Charles. If that happens, guess what? Then my family, William and Charles, could do anything they want to Harry, to Meghan, to Archie, Lilibet, and ensure that Harry and Meghan can't talk about it. They could abuse them. Just like what William did to Harry while Harry was in the UK. And no one will find out about it, my family, because Harry and Meghan will be dependent on William and Charles. I am always thankful that Harry sought financial freedom, that Harry has a job, that Harry is working to pay his bills, my family. Well, you have here William inheriting money, my family. That's what you have William doing, claiming he wants to tackle homelessness. Yet my family, would William even give a pinch of that 20 million pounds he makes every year on the Duchy of Cornwall to build homes for the homeless? My family, I'm sorry, but I just don't think so. I just don't think so. Because we do know the members of the royal family are all talk. Except, Prince Harry and Meghan. When they say something, they'll have to do it. When they promise to do something, Harry and Meghan will do it. Harry and Meghan are the only ones who are more genuine than anyone in the royal family. And my family, here's what the Guardian also said, my family. The royal family's claim to the income from the duchies stems from archaic charters dating back to when the country was divided into medieval fiefdoms. And ever since the advent of parliamentary democracy, however, generations of MPs have challenged the arrangement and called for duchy profits to be paid to the treasury instead. Parliamentary debate has often coincided with the accession of a new monarch amid renewed scrutiny over the public and private sources of wealth. However, the royals insist their duchy income is private. That's what they're saying. It is private. And the government treats it as entirely separate from the sovereign grant. The annual payment the royal family receives from the government to cover its official costs. My family. Wow. The royal family have private money from the duchies, and also the government, pays them through the sovereign grant. My family. And my family, you won't ever hear the other tabloids in which Charles has hired its deputy editor to work for him ever covering this or talking about this, my family. You won't ever do that or even hear that, my family. You won't ever hear that from the tabloid media. But the Guardian is covering this, my family. And The money the royal family receives from the sovereign grant has increased dramatically in recent times and costs the taxpayer £86 million a year, my families. And the Buckingham Palace declined to comment on the Guardian's figures for income received from the duchies, which it described as speculative, my family. And the palace has long stated that income received from both duchies is largely spent on the family's official duties, public work, or charitable causes. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I like to see William build a home for the homeless, so I can see it as proof. Come on. However, the royals have never provided a detailed account of how money from the estates is spent, describing them as private financial arrangements, my family. And Charles has reported that 49% to 51% of his Dutch income was spent covering public and charitable functions in recent years. That's what my family, Charles, said. As Prince of Wales, a large part of Charles' Dutch income was spent privately, including on secretaries, valets, gardeners, chefs, stable hands, and farm workers. And the late Queen was reported to have used Duchy of Lancaster income to help Prince Andrew pay an undisclosed sum, reported to be more than £9 million, to end the sexual assault case filed against him by Virginia Giuffre. My family. And a member of parliament called Margaret Hodge, who led an inquiry into the Duchy of Cornwall in 2013 when she chaired the Public Accounts Committee, said Parliament had been unable to establish how Duchy income was spent. My family, there is no accountability in the royal family. And that's why someone said that members of the royal family can get away with anything, with basically anything. Senior members of the royal family, that is, those who are heirs in the royal family. And those words are very, very true, my family. And this member of parliament, Margaret, said, and I quote, that it was very unclear. She said recently, there is little transparency. There is very, very little transparency. And my family, that is what she said. My family, that is what she said. And this is just not cool. My family, the public deserves accountability on the royal family. The royal family should be accountable to the public. But clearly, from what we can see, they are uninterested in being accountable to the public, my family. That's what my family will see. And the royal family reflects by putting a photo of Harry and Meghan on their front pages, basically saying that, hey, look, don't look at what the Guardian paper has wrote. Focus on this right here, that Harry and Meghan have not responded on whether or not they're coming to Charles' coronation. That's what they want you and me to be focused on, my family. I think the Guardian, for this investigation exposing the royal family, clearly they are not accountable to anyone. Clearly, perhaps only the UK tabloid media, Daily Mail, the Sun tabloid, perhaps only to them really, but not to the public, clearly, my family. Tell me what you think about this, my family. I'd like to hear your opinion, please. And with that and so much more, God bless Harry, Meghan, Archie, Bedana, and Doria Raglan, and all of you members of the squad at home. Hate never wins, love wins, and Harry did the right thing to pursue financial freedom. If not, right now, they Harry, Meghan, Archie, Elizabeth would be on the mercy of Prince William and Charles. Charles, who put his coronation on the same day as Archie's birthday. My family, Harry and Meghan, did the right thing to free the UK and pursue financial freedom. My family. And I wish them all the best as they continue their life in the US. My family. And clearly, the UK media are so obsessed with Harry and Meghan. They clearly can't stop obsessing over Harry and Meghan. My family, tell me what you think about all this kindly. I like to hear your opinion on this, please. With that and so much more, stay tuned to our next video. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and support our ever-growing family on YouTube. God bless Harry, Meghan, Archie, Lily, Diana, and Doria Ragland. And all of you members of the squad at home, stay tuned to our next video. Love you always and forever. Hello, members of Zesco Family TV. First of all, I want to say thank you for all your support that you give us to our channel. We don't take it for granted that you support this channel. I want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts for lending out your support and fighting against injustices, supporting Prince Harry and Meghan, showing them love. Love will always triumph over evil, and for that I say thank you. Good will always prevail over bad. Thank you so much for all your support. Thank you so much for joining this community, this amazing community of Zesco Family TV. I love you so much, family, from the bottom of my heart, and I wish you all the best. May you have a great day, and I hope that you enjoyed this video and learned a lot of things. With that and so much more, stay tuned to our next video. Leave a comment below, like, and subscribe. Love you, family, always and forever. Sayonara.